Hey guys, Hushang here. Welcome back to another Hushang tutorial. We're going to be checking out a PROTOSS vs Zerg build order today. It's one that I found out about through Nightmare, who's a top Korean PROTOSS player. He obliterated me twice with this build in the ESL Cup, and we'll look at those replays later. But basically the idea with this strategy is we're going to open up Stargate. We're going to get a Voidray to deny some scouting. So kind of keeping the Zerg in the dark. We could be going like carriers. We could be going blink. We could be going for the Glaives build, which is the one we're going to do. And so we're just keeping them completely in the dark. And then we're going to slam them with like 12 Adepts with the Glaives upgrade. And in the current meta, they're all thinking that you're going to go for the Blink Stalker strategy. So a lot of them will be getting that fast evolution chamber with a +1. And then bam, Glaives. They have a bunch of Ling. They get absolutely destroyed. And they have no chance. At least that's what we're hoping for. Okay, let's check out this build order guide. I got a replay right here. It's against the AI, and I'm just going to run you through the build order. And then after this, there'll be timestamps. You're going to check out 3 replays. 1 I did against a ladder Zerg, and 2 that are the games where Nightmare absolutely obliterates me with his build. Okay, so we're going to start out with a 14 pylon. You're going to want to place that at your natural, and we're going to make a little wall here. Just have your probe just chill here while the pylon's building. There's nothing really else it can do, so might as well stick around here. And then we're going to grab the gateway on 16 supply, and then you can go and scout with this probe, and just make sure your opponent's not doing anything wacky like a 12 pull opening. If you're struggling with that, I have another guide you can check out. And then immediately after the gateway, you're going to grab your gas, also on 16 in the main, and then you can chrono boost. Following this, we're just going to saturate the main mineral line. You can see currently we have 16 out of 16. And then once you reach that, you're going to rally into the gas and just leave it there. Forget about it until it's full, and then we'll switch it over. You can do another chrono boost as long as you see that your opponent has a hatchery. And then you're going to grab one of these probes, and you're going to send it to the natural, the second base. And you're going to make your Nexus on 21 supply. Okay, once you have the Nexus, you can go and grab your Cyber Core. That's also going to be on 21 supply. Just make sure all these buildings are pretty tight according to your money. After the Cyber Core, you can come back to your main, grab a gas on 21. And then you're going to sneak in this 1 extra probe and grab your pylon on 22. We still need a couple more probes on this gas, so we're going to keep the rally there. I did switch it a little bit ago from this gas to this gas, basically. Once it reaches 3, you can change it to the natural. I think I do that right now. And then at the same time, you're going to start up an Adept. You're going to chrono boost this, and you're going to start a Stargate in your main. This is before the Warp Gate upgrade, so be a little bit careful if you're new to Stargate builds, because you will maybe forget your Warp Gate, since it's kind of a new place to start that upgrade. But immediately after the Stargate, you're going to research that. Then you're going to start up a second Adept, and you're going to send this across the map. You can just kind of scout with this one. It's not super critical that you do any damage. It's mostly there to just kind of make sure your opponent makes a couple of Zerglings and make sure they're not up to anything too cheeky. And then next thing we're going to be doing is just waiting for this Stargate to finish and booting up this Voidray. I restarted the game because I lost the Adept. I did kill like 4 drones against this noob AI, but I figured now we'll have to make another Adept, and it'll kind of throw the build order off. But if you want to do that, go for it. Just make like 3 Adepts. Anyways. So we got the Voidray being chrono boosted. And I'm going to only be making 2 Adepts here. We're going to have 1 guard kind of our entrance, and then the other one's going to go take the 3rd base. Next to 100 gas, you're going to grab a Twilight Council. And then you're going to build up to 4 gateways. So I'm going to put the first one in the wall, just so that they can't get any Zerglings in. And then you kind of want to hide the next 2. This one doesn't really matter to let them see it. It's basically, you're going to get that with any build. But then these 2 ones, you kind of want to hide somewhere in your main. And then this Voidray can kind of try and deny some overlords while your Twilight Council and gates are building. So you might still have an overlord come in before the Voidray is done, but that just means you're playing a really strong opponent. So they're probably always going to get that scout if they're strong, but if they're not strong and they wait a little bit too long, you can kind of snipe their overlord and then you're good to go. Okay, so we got 4 gates, Twilight Council finished up, we started the Glaives upgrade, and I also started a pylon over here at the 3rd base, and you can see one of my Adepts is coming over here to cover the probe, and then we start up the Nexus. So currently we have 4 gates, we got the Twilight Council finished with the Glaives upgrade, we have a Voidray clearing some overlords, and we're building some pylons. And then from here it's pretty straightforward, you just warp in a bunch of Adepts, and you continuously build a ridiculous amount of pylons, more than you're probably used to, and you warp in a bunch of Adepts.
You must construct additional pylons.
So I'm going to be throwing down some pylons, I believe, in the main here, but you can throw them down wherever. You can even get some over here if you want. Don't worry too much about any Ling rushes. I have a game that I'm going to show you guys where the PROTOSS does that, and it's actually just not a big deal at all. Or the Zerg does that rather. So I've got 2 Adepts warped in here. You can warp them over here as well. It's not a huge tell if you warp in 2 Adepts. It's a really big tell if you start accumulating a lot of them. So that's where you want to be careful. So I've got 4 warping in. These I probably wouldn't do in a ladder game because once the Zerg sees this, they know for sure that you're going for this build. So I'd probably warp those in back here for a little bit more safety. I've been chrono boosting this Glaives upgrade the whole time, by the way. So every time it's done being chronoed, you chrono it again. And these double gases are sort of as you get saturated on this space, you can take the double gas. Don't worry about getting these too fast. It's not super important. Continuous warp-ins as the gateways allow, and you should have about 12 by like 5, 10-ish. Then you can shade across, and you can just try to get as much damage as you can. I'd say normally in my GM games, I'm tending to get a lot of damage, but what'll happen in your games probably if you're like Platinum Diamond is your opponents are going to be so scared. So when you get across, you got to make a judgment call right here. You got to make a judgment call. Do they have like no units and you can go obliterate their whole mineral line and yeah, easily win the game? Or have they overmade units and you actually need to just retreat here or at least shade from afar and not commit? I think a lot of people go wrong here, so that's why I'm pointing it out. Is you'll get across with this build and you'll go, my build is to shade in, kill as much as I can, no matter what. I'm fucking going deep here. We're gonna, you know, if there's like 50 roach, I'm still going in. And that's the wrong approach. You want to chill, man. You want to maybe back up here, not go for the play. That's also fine, because if they have a lot of units, that means they've already kind of destroyed their own economy, right? And if they've destroyed their own economy, you don't have to do any damage here. And more so than that, if you do try to do damage and you lose all these Adepts when they've been massing units without an economy, you will probably die to the counterattack, right? So it's actually really, really risky if you go deep when they have a lot of units. Instead, you just want to play it cool, back up, you know, do your transition a little bit, and yeah, just not commit. You're already winning. No need for that. All right, I've got a couple replays for you guys now. I want to go through these pretty fast and just give you guys a rough idea of some interactions that can go on. So first thing that I wanted to show in this replay is if you go for a hatch block, it actually kind of amplifies this build by quite a bit because defending over here for the Zerg is quite a bit more challenging. They have their drones over here, and the distance actually makes it quite difficult. So if you have the APM to hatch block and you're not too worried about dealing with all the extra cheese that you might get, definitely go for this. You just send your probe here at the beginning of the game, basically. And yeah, so now it's going to be more challenging. He's still going to grab his 3rd and stuff, but it's just a little more tricky. I think I also went for a little bit of Adept harass this game. We'll see that. We've got the first one coming across here. This is also amplified by the hatch. So you'll see a lot of top PROTOSS going for this sort of thing, just to really annoy the Zerg. And then we have our second Adept meet up, and I believe we go for this shade, if I'm not mistaken. So this is all bonus, additional stuff you can do. It definitely makes the build more challenging, so if you're like just learning this build and you're not too high MMR. We definitely just stick with the basics. But we get some damage here. We kind of throw him off. You know, maybe he forgets to scout now. He's got more work to do. Standard Voidray here, clearing the overlords. We've got our Twilight Council coming in. And this is another reason I wanted to showcase this replay, because you'll find that this is quite common on the ladder, especially at the lower levels, is these really heavy Ling Floods. And you can see here, I'm just, you know, he kills my Adept, which might feel bad if you're not too experienced, but really I'm getting a massive lead here. It just kind of looks like I'm taking damage because he's killing my Adepts, but I'm killing an equalish amount of Zergling. And more importantly, the Zerg's hurting his own eco. So we're equal workers here, which means I'm absolutely crushing. So not as good as it appears. The only way it kind of goes well for Zerg is if he like completely decimates the space, kills your units and kills your Nexus and your pylons, and you really just can't take it anymore. Then you're in trouble, but any less than that is not that good for them. So you'll see we get to run across the map and punish him here. And yeah, this game was amazing. Another little detail I wanted to show is I have a second group coming over here, which is something a little more advanced you can do. Is your first group kind of pulls their attention, and this second group comes across later on a separate hotkey and goes for their third base usually. And yeah, he sustains way too much damage, especially after that Ling Flood. So he's super dead here. He's down like 40 workers or something. Ridiculous. Okay, let me show you another replay. I was going to show you the Nightmare games, but after rewatching them, they were kind of one-sided. So I'm kind of hoping that this Zerg will put up some resistance, and we can kind of see how it plays out in the situation where they defend pretty well. Maybe I should tell him my build right now. Is that BM? It's a little bit BM, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm going to tell him regardless. Hopefully he's not offended. He might actually cheese me. I think this guy might be a little bit cheesy. Voidray into Adept Glaives. Feels like one of those old day 9 challenges or something. Announce your build at the start of the game. Probably goes. Okay, he's playing Hatch first. Let's get our Cyber Core here. And then I like to go gas right away. That way we can get the workers in there. And then you could make the pylon on 21, but if you go 22, you get a little more. You get a little more probes. And there's no downside. It doesn't actually supply block you on anything. So, just an overall plus. No lings yet. That's basically what that probe's doing. Just looking for some Zerglings. Usually they pop like right now, so you gotta be careful when you build your Stargate. Yeah. I actually think it's better not to make these lings as a Zerg. I'm playing quite a bit of Zerg lately. I don't think you should do that. But they tend to do it. Actually, on this map, to be honest, it's not that bad. It's probably the best thing to do because you can block this base. Let's actually not do that because our goal here is not to obliterate him. We're trying to force it into a macro game. Okay, just make sure you took that. See if we can secure like one drone kill or something here. Pretty good defense from him. Let's try to snipe. No. Okay. Yeah, really good defense. Maybe we don't have to fake it. Maybe he's actually really good. And And now we pretty much got to get out of here, but maybe we can snipe a creep tumor or something. Let's take a peek. Not really. Okay, time to leave. Let's get ready to take our base. Let's grab our gates. Up till 4. And I think I'm gonna get blocked here on purpose, because I think it makes the build a little bit cleaner if you do this. Makes it look more standard. Yeah, and our Nexus is a bit faster. There we go. That Glaives rolling. I think I might have delayed the Glaives slightly, actually, so that's not good. Yeah, I don't think it was huge, though. It's probably like 5-10 seconds. And just make sure he can't scout us. Pretend we didn't announce the build at the beginning of the game. Okay, keep growing that. I'm just gonna keep them out here so we can really see them. Otherwise, he might think I'm trolling him. Went Sky Toss or something. Okay, I mean, he's giving us 3 Overlords. That's a bit too many, fortunately. Okay, there's our 10 Adept or so. Let's go across. And then I think we'll follow this up with a Robo this game. There's like a bunch of ways you can follow this up. Like you can go Blink or you can go into Sky Toss or whatever you want really, but let's do it this way. Yeah, okay, so he's got some Roach. That's a good start. Okay, well, what is this guy talking about? He's defending perfectly. Yeah, so in this situation, you can't really do much, honestly, because they've got the Roach already. But I think he's probably under-droned. Yeah, so he's definitely under-droned here. So, like, normally they should have about 52 or more, because we have 57. So he's not really keeping up here, actually, even though he's defended. So next we'll go into some Immortal to counter the Roach. And then we'll slowly tech up into maybe Colossus Blink, or maybe Storm is pretty good here. Let's maybe just check what he's up to and go based off of that, I guess. Okay. Pretty heavy push here. I think we can hold this. Where's my Immortal? A little bit scary. Looks good. Let's remake that shield battery. We actually didn't lose too many probe. I thought we lost a couple. But no, we're good. Keep making these Immortal. And let's see. We got our Robos ready. What do we see there? Hydra, okay. Yeah, so if he's playing Hydra, I guess we'll just go Colossus. Makes the most sense here. I bet we can kill this. I don't think I shifted that properly. Okay, what do we do? Do we go... I want to add some gates, first of all. But I'm contemplating what units we build with the Colossus here. I think the best thing might just be to go more Adepts, actually. Although I haven't done that before, but in this situation, I think it kind of makes a lot of sense. Because we already have the upgrades. And he's making like Roach Hydra, so I don't see any reason to transition here. Okay, a little bit of a supply block. Let's make one more cannon. I'll probably take that base. It's actually a nasty supply block. I think since he's playing Hydralisk, we don't really need to worry too much about Mutalisk. Should eat up all his gas. as long as he actually makes them. So I kind of want to see that he actually made them. Yeah, okay. He's got +2. Yeah, so he's probably not doing anything weird.
You must construct additional pylons.
Oh, that was kind of close. Okay, let's start making some stalker, I think.
You have not enough mineral. Research complete.
Let's see what we can get done here. I do want to wait for my +2 though. And I want to wait for my next Colossus as well.
Engaging the enemy.
Yeah, this is good though. We got to make a lot of units, which is what we want. And a good mix of army, I think. Maybe it's possible to skip the stalkers altogether. I'm not really sure. Oh, he's got lurker.
Upgrade complete.
Okay. Where's my range?
You have not enough minerals.
Just kind of avoiding lurkers right now. We are on a bit of a timer though, so we do have to make something happen here. But usually they won't have the upgrades for the lurkers. Your Colossus actually outrange them. So we're going to try to make use of that right here. There's no way his hive is done already. There we go. And we'll get charged next. Yep. He should be dead here. Okay, he yanks one Colossus. No big deal though. Let's kind of keep a nice spread. Get these Colossus hitting what we want, and GG. Oh, well played, Temujin. I actually think his defense was really good. I think he was just slightly under-droned, so I'm guessing he got like his layer too fast or something. Yeah, he got his +1. So this guy literally defended perfectly, except he got a little bit too much gas for the +1 instead of the layer for roach speed, and then he was under like 10 drones or so. So right here, he paused at what looks like 44. If he went to like 50 right here, made the roaches, he would have been totally fine. So just a small mistake for that guy. GG, well played. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. And if you want some coaching with me, just hit me up on Discord. There should be a link in the description, so you can just check that out. And of course, always join us on the Discord server. We have our own server. It's got like 800 members or so. Come join us there, hang out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.